All right, good evening, everybody. How is my audio coming through? How do I sound? Someone give me a thumbs up so I know that I'm here.
You sound great, Ben.
Well, thank you, Mitch. Good to hear from you again, as usual, on our Wednesday nights. This one is a little bit more special. This one is the big leagues. We're having our Wootopia Volume 6, where we sit around and talk about all of the latest updates on the ecosystem, as well as handling all the questions that have trickled in throughout the week on the Twitter. So I think today we're going to structure it in three parts, maybe four if we have time. With the first part, we're going to bring up Ran, have him give us some updates on the ecosystem, and there's certainly a lot of those lately. And then after that, we'll have our head of DeFi, Kevin, join us to talk about what's going on in the world of Wufi, including some of the latest features, some new and exciting things that are going on there. Don't want to reveal too much. And then finally, we'll end up with the world famous Mitch, who's going to talk about things going on with product development, Woo Ventures, and the DAO. So, how does that sound? Should we get started?
Let's do it.
All right. So, Rand's already a speaker, so I think we can get started here without waiting any longer. I think the first thing that we should probably bring up, because Rand, you've been running around for the last 3 months doing a lot of fundraising and other ecosystem development. Maybe you could talk just a little bit about that. What happened at the end of last year, and then starting 2022 with the big Series A plus announcement. Go ahead and give us some information on that.
Yep, sure. So we raised Series A in November, end of November, and it was a bunch of strategics, Three Arrows, QCP, Crypto.com, Gate Ventures, a lot of our clients and potential ones. The raise is meant not really for capital, but to bind all the relationships that we have to make Woo grow bigger. That's why we had a lot of our exchange clients, Three Arrows, the trader, QCP, ecosystems like Avalanche, as we, are getting larger in DeFi currently. That was the raise, and it's meant to be a strategic one. Again, with Binance, the Series A plus, Binance is very critical to Woo growth, as as we do a lot of hedging on Binance over at Woo, because as trades come in through Woo, then the market making team decides where the flow will be hedged at, and oftentimes it's Binance's largest exchange in the world. There's a lot of liquidity there, and that's one of the reasons. The other reasons are we're getting bigger in BSC. First, starting off just providing liquidity via Dodo EX, and then with Wufi, our own DEX, which Kevin will talk about. That's also on Binance Smart Chain. So then there are a lot of synergies that we had with Binance, who they realized and we realized, and we want to get their full support, obviously, for Woo and the growth of Woo, given that they're the largest crypto ecosystem in the world. And we received that, right, as you can evidently see with everything from marketing, where yes, when we list on Binance, we get the whole support of their ecosystem, right? Like BSC, Binance Labs, they all retweet, and there's a lot more support. Like CZ retweeted their investment in us. So this is what we want, right? We want to direct flow to Woo to provide better liquidity, and to get their full support. So this is the reason we engaged in that $12 million investment from Binance in the A plus round. And I want to be clear that these investments are never for unlocked tokens. I realize that this was could have been a concern. All the investors are in for the long run. So they've invested in a mixed deal of equity, which is it's equity and it's not, there's no relationship to the tokens. And then also in tokens, which are locked for years, for 3 years. So, there's in no instance did we ever raise funds and given the investor unlocked Wu tokens. So I want to make that clear. And we picked our investors very selectively. So these are everyone who can who can contribute to our ecosystem, whether it's exchanges, traders, brokers like 3 Commas who invested in us, Chains, Avalanche, even the BitTorrent chain. So every investor was strategic, and there was a near absence of just pure VCs, which is how we wanted the round to be.
Yeah, that's good. I see these kind of questions floating around a lot, so it's good that you cleared that up. But you did mention the listing with Binance, which was absolutely huge. So maybe you could walk us through how that happened, like the process, and then maybe what happened yesterday. How did this all come to life?
Right. I mean, I don't think I can go into too many details about that whole process, but they're very professional. Their whole investment and listing team are very professional. We had a conversation for a while. We had all types of due diligence, and the Binance team is obviously very careful about any sort of leakage of news. So then, we didn't know when the token were to be listed, and there were no fees of any sorts with Binance. So, it was a very clean and transparent and professional process. There's a heavy emphasis on secrecy, right? A heavy emphasis on just keeping things low key and secretive, which obviously we all understand. And it's a rather smooth process. It took a while, but they're very professional guys. And yesterday we I think it was I don't even remember which day it was. I think it was Monday that we finally listed on Binance, and we had a $200 million volume yesterday, 24-hour volume because of this. So that's been great, and the Binance listing is very significant for us, for Wu, because everything that we do now, Binance is very liquid. It's a ton of volume, and a lot of users, obviously followers and such. And later, now any sort of action that we do to improve the product, to improve our community, improve our ecosystem, it will be magnified and amplified because we're on Binance, right? And so it's a great win for us, and we certainly we're certainly very happy because of it.
Right. No, I think a lot of the community is interested in this whole process because, like you said, things are like it's very secretive how this all works, and there's maybe a lack of information, which then leads to misinformation about how this goes down. But I mean, for myself personally, I found out after probably some people on Twitter found out, because I was actually interviewing somebody for a potential role, and then my notifications started blowing up. And being in an interview, I didn't want to look at my phone, but then I kept seeing the word Binance, and then that was kind of how I found out. So yeah, I think the biggest thing we saw in the community leading up to it was kind of why is it taking so long, and then afterwards, why did you pick this time? Why didn't you do it last year when at the height of the bull cycle? But I think, yeah, what people don't realize is how how difficult these things are, and it's completely out of the team's control for the most part how it works. So I just wanted to maybe touch on that a little bit. But anyway, some questions from the community. One of our users, Deuce, and he posted a lot of questions, so bear with me. Rand, he wanted to know, like, how is working with like partners like Binance, like how does it benefit the team, right? Does anything rub off, on us? And are there more institutional partnerships on the way?
Sure. Well, first of all, we're always looking for more institutional partnerships. I mean, we label that as more crypto native institutions like the crypto exchanges and wallets and brokers who are our clients now, to the conversations that we've been having with more of the traditional institutions who are trying to get into crypto. And essentially, everyone's trying to get into crypto. Uh, this is including, banks, brokerages, and such. So these conversations are happening more often now, um, and I see them, like I see that these TradFi institutions coming in from all over the place. Essentially, we certainly learn a ton from our partners. There are clients, there are partners, and these are very sophisticated businesses with with different, many different lines of business, tons of users and such, like these exchanges, wallets. So we're always feeding off each other and learning from each other. And it's been great. It helps us grow. Essentially, we can get some of the best insights to what the other exchanges are doing, um, and wallets and brokers and traders and such. So I think we're interacting with some of the best in the business and some of the best minds out there in crypto. So I think we're very fortunate to be in this position. We're always interacting with them and talking to them about how to improve Woo, how to improve our liquidity, the pricing, the product, DEX, the centralized exchange, how to join forces on ecosystem initiatives, ventures, and such, and just to grow the Woo ecosystem bigger and faster.
Great. Well, now that you've got the fundraising out of the way, some of the major listings are out of the way, where do you see yourself turning your focus to for the rest of quarter one?
My focus currently is on growing the ecosystem, right? So that's kind of broad. It includes Woo users, clients, geographies. It spans to the DAO that Ben or Mitchell will cover. So we want to be able to grow the community, grow the use cases of Woo, a token, and to get Woo integrated in many other communities and protocols, to just increase the value and utility of the token, to increase the stickiness of our communities, provide more value to the community through various ways, and to allow the community to be able to contribute to Woo and be incentivized to do so, especially via the DAO, and to help to have the community be stronger and grow as a whole, and take Woo to the next level.
Great. Sounds good. Well, I think we'll give Rand a break here because you've been talking for about 15 minutes. And I think we can move on to the next part where we focus on DeFi. This is probably the first Wootopia I've had where I've been doing it from home. Usually in the past, we've had it recorded live on YouTube, sitting next to, Julia is usually with me. So for this time, I'm not, but I think, Josh, if you want to bring up Kevin to speak. Kevin, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Awesome. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm doing great. Very excited.
All right. Well, Kevin, you're up here, here to talk. I mean, you're leading the Wufi initiative. So, what do you have for us, Kevin?
Yeah. So, today we actually launched a new feature on Wufi, which is called Wufi Earn. It really is just it's a platform that for a user to invest in various DeFi earning strategy, like really without hustle. That's why we call it hustle free yield finder. So those strategy and votes are kind of they are curated by and implemented by the strategists on our team, and the team really focus on providing like they focus on the security of the underlying platform where the yields are coming from, and also finding the where there's like profitable and also sustainable yields. So the vaults is really, we want to create those like set and forget type of vaults. People just simply deposit and earn more tokens as the strategy kind of work by itself, and you can even treat it kind of like your saving account, right? You just deposit assets and see your assets grow. So the focus is really on, maybe it's not like super degen type of strategy, but we focus a lot on the security, make sure that the strategy is sustainable and secure. And the reason we built this product is because we realized that the biggest needs in DeFi is really swap and earn yields. And for people like if you are really sophisticated with DeFi, maybe it's not a huge problem for you to go out and look at like tens of different protocols and do your own research. But actually, we realize even for a lot of people on our team, for normal people, it's actually a lot of hustle to do that, because most people don't have the time and knowledge to do all these research. So, and a lot of the platform on the market, if you go to those like aggregation yield aggregation platform, they present you with different kind of strategy. But we ultimately we want to make this platform like we bring the strategy to you, so you don't have to like search and research a lot of the platform. We kind of bring the best strategy to you on most of the common assets that user own, and we will and also a lot the other thing, another unique thing about Wufi Earn is that we find a lot of product on the market, actually they charge really high fee, like a lot of them charge like 10 to 20% performance fees. Some of them even charge management fee on your principals. We don't think it's good for users. So as all the Wu Network product, we charge the lowest fee on the auto compounding rewards, and then and actually almost all the fees goes to buy back a Wu and give it to the Wu stakers, so that the Wu token on Wufi have more value capture. And actually, the product is already live. If you go to fi.wu.org/earn, you can start deposit your. Now it's still on BSC. You can now start deposit the like BNB, BUSD, Cake, also the Wu BNB LP token there. It's just really simple. Just deposit and just sit and relax to see your assets growing. And these are some of the initial vaults we implemented. The team basically will keep looking at different platform to find the best strategy, and also we will also expand to other blockchains. So I think in the future we want people to see like the Wufi Earn is going to tell them like your assets can actually earn X amount of yields on this chain as well as on other chains. So so we're constantly looking for other strategy. Actually, we will also welcome the community member to join our Discord. We actually have a channel called DeFi Yield Finder. I think people can suggest strategy to us and even build a strategy together with us. In terms of the next focus or the roadmap, I think for Wufi, I guess multi-chain is the main focus. We'll deploy on start to deploy on other blockchains other than besides BSC, and then going forward, we will also create more like earning strategy, maybe related to trading or even market making strategy. So yeah, and so yeah, we why don't you guys maybe after Wootopia start to play around with it?
Yeah, that sounds good. And I noticed that we have now pinned the tweet to the top of this Twitter space where people can check it out and try it out. So yeah, it's another good thing that as more people start to use it, it's going to create more value capture for the Wu token by having that reward mechanism built in, which I think everybody here on the call loves to see. Kevin, you answered probably quite a few of the questions that the community was asking. I know that Deuce was asking again about the additional. Well, I don't think we've got to that one yet. Why don't we talk about a very simple question from Alex? He just said, "Where do you see Wufi a year from now?" So I guess there's a very vague question and a lot of ways you could take this, but yeah, and maybe it would help for people to see.
Yes. Now, actually, for now, we launched the key modules, which is swap, and earn and stake. So I think in 1 year from now, I guess Wufi will become more like have more seamless experience about cross chain transactions, or even because we are gonna deploy on multiple blockchains, we will focus more on building more unique features that to attract more users to the platform. I think the main focus is multi-chain deployment, even cross-chain transactions, and then more like more yield product related to, as I mentioned, like could be market making or even trading strategy. And also, of course, I think that the other most important thing is to continuously add more utility to the Wu token and value capture for the Wu token through the Wufi product.
Great. Is this the first time you've ever launched a product feature live on the air?
Probably, yeah.
Channeling your inner Steve Jobs.
Hope it's a good surprise.
Okay. One thing we haven't talked about was XWU. Deuce is asking about that. Like, what can we do to make XWU the interest-bearing token that you get for staking Wu into Wufi? How can we get that to have more utility or yield-earning opportunities?
Yeah, I guess there are two parts, right? On like the native utility, I think right now XWU is already represent the voting power in the DAO. All right, and the other thing we are working on is maybe even on Wufi Earn, we want to maybe create opportunity for people to use XWU to earn other tokens, and the other aspect is using XWU on third-party platform, like the initiative, the proposal we put out in the Abracadabra forum, like adding XWU as collateral to borrow assets. That will also make XWU more productive, and yeah, I think we will have more of this opportunity as Wufi got deployed on more blockchains. We can work with the projects on those ecosystem as well.
Awesome. Not great timing on the Abracadabra forum, but a good initiative anyway. Dill trade.
Yeah. Sorry, Ben. Just wanted to ask a quick question to Kevin. Is there any sort of unstaking period, the way there is for XWU with Wufi Earn?
For XWU, the staking, XWU is for the LP token when you stake Wu on Wufi stake, right? And that one has unstaking period, but for Earn, there's no unstaking period. People can deposit and withdraw anytime they want.
Great, thank you.
All right, and from Diltrig in our community, he asked about IEOs and IDOs and all that thing. So maybe you don't know as much about the IEO part, but I think the IDO is something that you've tossed around in your secret Wufi meetings.
IDO is definitely something we are looking at. We don't have a set timeline for that, but it could be IDO can be in different shape and form. Like people can kind of put money to buy tokens, and they're also kind of like launch pool style of IDO, right? People just stake XWU and to earn another token. So this is definitely something we're thinking about, and it's actually a really good feature to attract user traffic to get more users to come into the platform.
Yeah, absolutely. And just kind of some free questions here at the end that popped into my head, because there's a lot of people listening. Like, how can people in the community get more involved, like with Wufi and development and growth and all of that? Because I mean, we're coming from like a CeFi platform with WooX and Woo Network, but when you get into the DeFi world, it's really an open forum, right? So how do we get some of our more CeFi native community members to start participating more in like a DeFi style?
Yeah, first thing I would say is try out the product, right? When we design our product, actually, we have this thing in mind that we design this not just for like heavy DeFi users, sophisticated DeFi user. We want to design the product for everyone, right? Even the first time DeFi user. So I guess try out the product and provide us feedback in the Discord. And the other thing is really is a DAO, right? Because now we have Woo DAO, we have different initiatives related to growth and also partnership. Yeah, I guess join the Woo DAO and contribute to various like working groups. And also, like I mentioned, if you are some very familiar with DeFi, you can also suggest those DeFi yield strategy to us. And if you have the skill set, you can even build with our team. We can, I think in the future, we will also try to incentivize the strategists who create the votes for Wufi. Right.
Hey guys,
Perfect.
sorry for interrupting. I would like to add some comments for our community about the Wu DAO, and you actually asked how CeFi people can engage in Wu DAO and contribute to our growth. So probably I would like to encourage all the people who are here on this call or who are right now texting in our community chats on Telegram to not be afraid and go to our growth group on Discord and just drop all the proposals and all the ideas that you have considering our growth and some initiatives that you want to perform through the DAO. That would be exactly the correct channel to reach to us.
All right. Yes. Thank you, Julia. And I guess, Kevin, is there anything else you want to add, or should we move ahead with our agenda?
Yeah, I saw another question. I just want to quickly address that. I think people are asking about like layer two, our strategy about layer two, for example, like Arbitrum. Yeah, we will start to deploy on other blockchain. Then since I think the product has been running for a while on BSC, so you can expect to see maybe Wufi deploy on another blockchain in the maybe next few weeks, and then Arbitron. Layer two is definitely on like at least like top three of our list, because I do believe that we need some we need to enter the Ethereum ecosystem, and because of the design of Wufi swap, the layer two's rollups are the best option for us. So yeah, I mean we are very actively looking at different rollup solutions. We'll probably see that in the not so far in the future.
You literally cannot go 5 minutes without leaking some alpha, can you, Kevin?
That's what I do.
All right. Let's. I guess Mitchell. I guess your time has come. Are you ready?
As ready as I'll be.
Mitchell, are you nervous?
Nope, I'm ready to roll.
Okay, awesome. For those of you who don't know, Mitchell is one of the main facilitators in our DAO. So every Wednesday he hosts our DAO call, which we strongly encourage all of you to take part in over on the Discord. But of course, this is not Discord. This is Twitter. This is the big league. So I hope you come prepared. And there's a wide range of questions we're going to hit you with, because Mitchell, you're one of the most versatile people at Woo Network. You contribute on the product side, you contribute on the Woo Venture side, and then also on the DeFi stuff as well with the DAO. So I don't know where to even to start with you. Maybe we can just start with the Woo Ventures, because that's such a popular conversation point. It's been a while since we've had the Dodo airdrop, so maybe you can just give us an update on Woo Ventures. Maybe first, like the actual Woo Ventures, the firm, and then after that, the airdrops.
Sure. Yep, happy to do that. I've been working with Ventures first a bit part-time, back in the summer, and then more actively through the fall, and now actively alongside WuDAO. So Wu Ventures has Wu tokens that are earmarked for token swaps. So early stage projects can partner with Wu Network by taking a token swap with Wu Ventures, and Wu Network can help incubate the project and it grow. Anything from listing across the Wu Network and partner exchanges to liquidity, helping and guidance with tokenomics or technical advice. So we've seen success with Wu Ventures. We've made, I think, 6 public investments now. Some DEXs like Sin Futures and Dairy and Strips, infrastructure such as Credo, Dodo as well, obviously, and then more recently ClearDAO. So we've made investments across the DeFi space, and just to provide a bit of context, these are early stage investment deals with other projects where we're going to invest maybe $100,000 or $200,000, but in Wu tokens, where the incentives are aligned, that we help the project grow and they're incentivized to partner with us and integrate into the Wu network. So do you want to go specifically into some questions, Ben?
All right. Well, I think everybody wants to know, like, what's, with the situation with the airdrops for the WX holders, like, how do you see that playing out?
Yeah. So Dodo was executed quite early before most of our other investments, and every investment has vesting, similar to how Rand mentioned for Wu's Series A raise, right? So it takes a while for Wu Ventures to receive the tokens to be able to airdrop them. So that's where the delay comes from, right? A project may have 3-year vesting. So if we execute the transaction in the fall of 2021, it could take upwards to mid 2023 to have 50% of the tokens to airdrop. So it takes some time for vesting, and that's the delay why we haven't done another Wu Ventures airdrop since Dodo. The good news is that we executed several transactions starting last summer, so vesting will continue to mature, and I think by Q2 of this year, we'll have more tokens ready to airdrop. The first venture was Dodo. That was done entirely on WooX. But in the future, I think we could do more innovative distribution methods. So potentially to Wufi stakers, maybe even to the DAO. And now that Wu has so much staked, so I was just looking, there's over 35 million Wu staked on Wufi, and I think around 150 million on WooX, right? So if we make $100,000 investment and it does 20x, that's 2 million to distribute amongst almost 200 million of stakers, right? So we have to come up with more innovative strategies in how we distribute the airdrops. Otherwise, the yield will be relatively low. And that's something I think as a community and through the DAO, we can come up with a method like a lottery where instead of 100% of stakers getting 1% yield, maybe 20% of stakers get 5% yield. And that 20% is determined with a lottery. So we could do some more innovative distribution methods and also, getting the community involved in how we distribute the Ventures tokens.
Yeah, I think there is a bit of a trade-off between the earlier we rush out to give away the tokens, like usually the lower they are in value, as the project hasn't had a chance to really grow to maturity.
Yes.
But then the other thing, obviously, is that as you guys have made these investments, it's and they're vesting very closely together. So I think the goal would always be to have like something unlocking, right? So that there'd be a steady stream of quality projects that we are introducing to the Wu token holders.
Yes, yeah, a continuous stream. I think we'll be able to achieve that by maybe Q4 of this year, given that we'll have several projects vesting. The difficulty in the last 6 months is that we invest in good projects, and good projects don't vest over short horizons, right? Like you may have seen some other projects vested within 12 months, and it's not a recipe for success. So we have to wait for the projects to vest sufficiently to have the tokens to distribute.
Mitch, I'm curious because you're on a lot of these calls. Like, how do people respond to Woo Ventures? Because it's quite different from a traditional venture capital firm. And obviously, yeah, just maybe talk a little bit about that if you can.
Sure, yeah. So what we've seen is Woo Ventures investments are typically most well suited for Series A rounds. And the issue with the seed is that they're typically raising, say, a million or 1.5 million, and the average ticket size is relatively small. And also, they need the cash to grow, right? They're raising their first initial tranche of capital, but by the time they have the Series A, they're more open to holding on to the Woo tokens. They don't need the stable coins to grow immediately. And also, the amount they're raising is larger, which enables Woo Ventures to get a meaningful allocation, right? Like I said, if we have 200 million Woo tokens being staked, we want to invest at least 100 or 200K so that even with a 10 to 20x return, there's some yield there for all Woo token holders.
Awesome. I think I passed through some questions from the community. One was from 1-800-Michael. So thank you for your question on the airdrops. Odin's Guard as well. Yes, can we expect bigger airdrops in the future since Credo and Dodo were not that big? Actually, Credo, the airdrop has not actually happened yet. That was just a marketing because Credo was listing and they wanted people to be aware of their project. So to create hype, they had a marketing campaign. So there's still Credo to come. And then, yeah, I guess that covers a lot of the venture stuff. We don't want to, beat that too long. So I think we can maybe move on to some of the other stuff. One thing I want to ask you while we have a lull right here, obviously, you came from the Bank of Canada, right? The Central Bank of Canada, and then you went to KPMG Canada before coming to work for Woo Ventures and all that. So the KPMG Canada was obviously in the news recently for adding cryptocurrencies to the treasuries. What did you think of all that?
I was stoked. I'm really happy to see it. I mean, they're the first big professional service firms to do it. It's not just like a corporate treasury, right? Like it's a financial services firm that'll probably help a bunch of other organizations get into crypto. They did Ethereum, not just Bitcoin, which I think is huge for Ethereum. Yeah, I was really happy to wake up to that. I mean, I got that and the Binance listing in one day. I don't think it gets any better than that.
Any chance you can make a few phone calls and get them to put Woo into the treasury as well?
I think we could probably get them to deposit some stables into Wufi Earn. That's probably the next step.
All right, I don't want to squeeze you too much on that because I don't know what sort of NDAs you have after leaving. But let's switch gears maybe a little bit and talk about the DAO because you're quite a driver on the DAO space. So for all the people listening here, maybe just give a really brief intro onto all the initiatives that we're working on and what it is we're trying to accomplish.
Sure. Yep. We're really trying to accomplish progressive decentralization, and the goal is achieving some governance over WuDAO, where we have the community engaged in creating proposals, voting on them, helping form DeFi partnerships, actively managing the WuDAO's treasury. So there's a lot of different areas to get involved. It's really a community-led initiative. We're working on it, but we're really working alongside the community. We've only been around for about 2 months. We've already taken some initiatives in terms of providing liquidity to Bancor and Uniswap, and we're in the process of partnering with some other big DeFi protocols like Theta Nuts and Olympus Pro, as well as potentially Fei. Yeah, and I just want to take this time to encourage everyone to come out and join the DAO. It's the same Woo Network Discord, and you can register to be a voter in the DAO by being a WooX staker or holding Woo on chain or even holding XWoo, meaning you staked on WooFi. So if you're doing any of those, you're eligible to join the DAO as a voter.
All right. How do you see the DAO versus Woo Network, Mitchell? Like these two different things and the different purposes they serve.
So I really see Woo Network as like an ecosystem, right? You have products such as the centralized exchange WooX. You have the decentralized exchange and suite of products, Wufi that Kevin just discussed. The DAO is really about bringing in the community, whether it's supporting growth, expanding partnerships, or even Wufi products, or suggesting new listings for WooX, or even actively managing the treasury and helping give new utility to the Woo token, right? We've gone from just the Woo token to XWoo, which is now interest bearing, and it's actually a governance token now because you can vote as an XWoo holder. And I mean, with what Kevin was trying to do with Abracadabra, now you could even borrow against your XWoo. So we've taken the native Woo token into this interest bearing or yield bearing, like governance enabled token that has utility. So I think the DAO will really drive that even further.
All right, you sound pretty bullish, and you must be bullish to have made a jump from KPMG Canada to come work with us. So I guess that says all there is to say about that. Maybe we could talk a little bit about the WooX product stuff you're working on.
Yeah.
Are you? Yeah, great. There were a lot of questions from the community, so I didn't take down the names of every single one of them, but a lot of them came, along the lines of like when something. So we'll just start with the first one. Is fiat sort of on ramps? Is that anything that is being discussed in the WooX channels?
That's something I'm not too familiar with. I know it's something they're working towards, but that's not something I'm aware of. I don't know, Kevin or Julia, if you've heard anything about that.
Well, I'm involved in some of the talks about fiat. It's definitely on the plan, but currently we're working on building the initial infrastructure and getting all the necessary documents and to be compliant to work with the payment systems, right? So it will take some time, for like several months, before we move to the next step of integrations with the payment systems. But right now, I'm sure, because even today I had one of the calls involving that it's being developed. But to be fully compliant, it takes time.
I thought I was setting you up with a softball there, Mitch.
It's more of a curveball.
Okay. Yeah, based on the every roadmap I've seen, it's definitely like first half of this year. So was not expecting Mitchell to drop that one flat on the floor. But let's move on to the next one.
Sorry, I'm more on like some of the product side, like futures and social trading and staking.
Oh, don't say that F word on the stream here. The staking, I don't know, is that something you want to talk a little bit about? Because people are always wondering about the utility for the Woo token.
Sure. Yeah, I mentioned some utility in DeFi with governance, yield generation, and using it for like being borrowed against. But there's actually a lot of utility that's going to be added to the Woo token on the CeFi side. Without getting into too much detail, right now the current staking program, it doesn't really vary by staking tier. The only extra benefits are really more yields because you've staked more Woo. On WooX, going forward, we've come up with several new features where stakers will get more benefits the more they stake. And there's actually some really innovative benefits in terms of trading and becoming even more of the leader in the crypto space in terms of having low trading fees.
Awesome. Another question was about trading bots. Do you have anything to say about trading bots?
Yeah, we have one integrated already, Nefertiti. As Rand mentioned, 3 Commas invested in Woo Network, so I'm sure there's some collaborations there in the future. And alongside some of the other products I've mentioned, social trading is in the pipeline. And as we've mentioned before, users could follow different strategies through that platform, such as like a momentum or mean reversion, or maybe a trading strategy dedicated to the metaverse. So I think there'll be a lot of different ways for users to leverage the WooX infrastructure and zero fee trading, but rely on some type of trading bot to actually make the trades.
All right. And a boring one I think no one cares about, futures. Is that anything to comment on there?
Yeah, it's going through a lot of testing at this phase, and I believe it's in the process of going live in the next month or two.
Okay. Did you want to talk about the index futures, or is that something we should
Sure.
leave for the next Wootopia?
No, we can. I think we can cover that. Yeah, we're working towards having groups of like a singles futures contract that represents more than one token. So instead of having just a BTC perp, you could have something like a DeFi perp or a metaverse perp or an AVAX ecosystem perp, where different tokens that are already listed on WooX could be combined together in a specific index. So you could trade one product but have multiple exposure. Another example would be like a crypto market cap perp, which is like kind of like the S&P 500 but for crypto. And what's interesting there is, let's say you think Bitcoin dominance is going to rise, you could buy Bitcoin and sell the index and trade like a Bitcoin dominance trade. Or if you think altcoin dominance broadly is going to rise, you could do the inverse. So it enables people to make like broad trades with a simple tool, a simple product.
Awesome. Yeah, there were a few more. I don't think I'm going to bother with all of them. Someone asked about credit cards. I think that's mostly like when you see an exchange integrate credit cards, it's like a third-party bank or financial institution provides it, but then sticks your logo on top. Certainly something we could do. Obviously not like the most pressing of issues, but maybe as we grow in size of users, it's definitely something fun and sticky that we could do for our users. So yeah, I think that's just about it. Mitchell, did you have anything you wanted to add here in the last few minutes?
Just to really encourage everyone to go to the DAO and participate. We're going to continue to run more votes. We have a weekly community call. It's this time next week, every Wednesday at 3 p.m. UTC in the Discord. It's an inclusive environment. We welcome everyone, and we really want to help grow the Woo network using the DAO. So we need the community's help.
Don't forget
All right.
the guitar performance.
Oh, how could I? Yes, you'll hear our resident expert Josh serenade us at the beginning and end with his guitar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. I think we're pretty much out of the content. I don't know if anyone here wants to jump up and say anything wonderful about us or question our authority.
Oh, sorry, Ben. I just wanted to add, in terms of finding the Discord, there's a link tree on our Twitter. So if you click on that, you can see all of our links, and within there is the Discord. And that's how you can access WooDAO.
Awesome. All right, Josh, is anyone here requesting to speak?
Yeah, actually, I'm a host. I can do it as well. We have a couple. Let's start with Woo Insider. And I'm going to bring Rye up to the stage as well.
All right. If anyone says anything negative, just cut them off.
Yeah, Woo Insider, the floor is yours.
Thanks so much, guys. Welcome, everyone. And I love the DAO. It's really picking up. And holy shit, there was so much alpha posted today. I'm shaking with excitement. Can't wait to do some tweets. Quick question. It says 15th of April with monthly rewards 50,000 Woo on Wufi. Now, are we going to extend this or what's up with that?
Yeah, I can take that. Yeah, we are gonna extend it for another 2 months. So if you go to actually it's already updated on the stake page. Yeah. So we'll extend it for another 2 months and then assess as we get close to the period.
Legend. Thanks.
And maybe just to add here, in the long run, if more aggregators plug into Wufi, then the yield will become driven by like non-inflationary fees, right, rather than Woo tokens. So I think that's more of the long-term objective.
Yep. Yeah, the long-term objective is is you having more like non inflationary rewards like coming from the swap fee. That
Kevin's taking notes on his typewriter. Very, very insightful. All right.
oh, am I typing again? Sorry.
Ryan, you're up.
Hi. I just had one question to ask. So you guys are on your way to getting listed on the Binance. Does that also include Binance US or just Binance by itself? Because what I'm trying to like say is like VeChain, for an example, I can like it's through like Binance and also Binance US, but someplace like Woo, like I can't buy it just on Binance alone because I'm a US citizen and it's not listed on the Binance US exchange yet.
Yeah, that's a good question, Ryan. Ryan, I saw you unmute. Do you want to take this one?
Yeah. So we just got listed on Binance.com. It's a good question, and I don't have an answer for it yet, but we have a call with them tomorrow, and we will try to be as integrated into the Binance ecosystem as much as and fast as possible. So that includes being able to service users from all over the world. I mean, there's different conditions, I think. I'm just guessing for the US, right? Based on what we understand the US in terms of just legal opinions, and it's just a stricter process for token listing. And Binance US, as far as I know, is very independent from the .com. This is similar to like FTX and FTX US, and just the US exchanges. They operate by a separate set of rules. But we'll certainly want to make Woo available to people in the US. So like we'll push for this. There's also many other products that Binance has that we can integrate Woo. I mean, they have like yield products, they have staking, they have like liquid swap, they have all types of different things. We definitely want to get plugged into their ecosystem.
I love how Ryan just revealed his personal calendar for tomorrow on the Twitter Spaces. But yeah, thank you for the question, Ryan, and thank you for the answer, Ryan. Mitchell, do you have anybody else who's trying to get on up here?
Yep, I just brought up Jacob, I believe, and Lost I'm bringing up as well.
I think there's a limit on how many speakers you can have, so you might have to remove some of the old ones. Don't take it personally, Woo Insider.
We're okay right now, I think. Jacob, I see you're up. The floor is yours.
Hey guys, what's going on? Thank y'all for bringing me up. Hey, so I just wanted to ask, for American holders, if we can only stake on Wufi. Now, are we able to obtain eligibility for airdrops, or is that achieved exclusively through?
I guess Jacob doesn't want the floor.
Can you guys?
No, I can hear him.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. If you guys can hear me, okay. I was just gonna finish the question, but for staking, for airdrop eligibility, does that have to be done exclusively through WooX? Is that correct?
I think just in general, currently the Woo Ventures airdrops is only through WooX. But like I said earlier, the Woo Ventures airdrops methods could be more innovative in the future. That was just how we implemented that one initially back in, I think, October.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah.
Can you guys
Thank
hear?
you.
Yep, we can hear you, Kevin. You're just a little quiet.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say like back then we didn't have Wufi yet, so I think for the next one, we will definitely be think more like Mitch mentioned, more innovative way to do that.
Lost. Do you have a question?
Yes, hello guys. Do you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you guys for all the efforts that you have been doing for the Woo network. My question is that I am an Arabic speaker, and we have a very large community here just getting into cryptos. So now, what I understand from your recent Wufi and the staking strategies and rewards, I try to, get, the whole, much understanding of the whole rules and strategies, but I followed the Arabic account and there was not much, activity regarding this, the staking rewards and the staking programs that you are guys launching. So are you guys planning to do something like that, or are you guys trying to at least, spread awareness for the Arabic communities in regards to this one?
Sure, I could take this one. We're trying to be more inclusive of all communities around the globe, and I think the DAO has a big role to play here. Are you familiar with the cryptoflation community by chance?
No.
Oh, they're a large Arabic community. Many of them are in the Wu DAO already, and I think they'll continue to be more active in the DAO and can help us. For example, in translating, we have like weekly summaries of DAO activities as well as some other educational material. So I think we can use the DAO to translate our activities and be more inclusive of people around the globe.
Very good. Where is that? Can you guys share like a link or something to the thing you're talking about?
Sure. If you're able to, are you able to join the Discord, the Wu DAO Discord?
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Please just message in there, and then I can share the link and make an introduction to that community for you.
Very good.
Probably the reason why there is no information about the Wufi yield generating products is in Arabic language is probably because we released it half an hour ago. So probably a couple hours later will be in the channel as well.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, actually, the Arabic community has been one of our strongest ones that kind of was created organically. And I know there was a really in-depth report that was published in Arabic by the Cryptoflation guys. I think they got over 50,000 downloads on it. We get a lot of users from different countries in that area. I did an AMA there about 2 months ago. I had to stay up to like 3 in the morning, but it was well worth it. So yeah, I mean, we're very in tune with that part of the world. Obviously, like finance is very heavily invested into Dubai, and Dubai has like these free trade zones where crypto is very, let's say, progressively regulated. So we're probably also looking to move that way as well for part of our growth direction. So yeah, I think to answer your question, I didn't hear the first part of it, but the Arabic world will play a very big role in the future of the Wu ecosystem.
Very good. Thank you, guys. Thank you. This is a great opportunity to talk to you, as well as to a great opportunity to hear your plans for the Arabic communities. We are many countries, probably more than 20 countries that are Arabic native speakers. And we love your project. And we just wish to have a little and more, information on everything that you are doing. I'm just, curious about the Woo network account in Arabic in Twitter, because are you guys doing it yourself, or you have like an Arabic leaders in the region that is doing it for you?
I think what we can do, because we're running, it's already past the hour here. Maybe we can move this conversation to the Discord, and we can share some details there about that specific account, if that's something you'd be interested in.
All right, thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you for the nice words.
Yes, appreciate it. I know, as Ben mentioned the time, maybe just to take one last question, we brought one of our largest contributors to the DAO, Diltrig, up to the stage. So please go ahead, Diltrig.
Thanks, Mitch. Hey, guys. I just had one question. While you guys have been talking, I've been on my laptop and I'm just taking a look at this Wufi Earn. Kevin, it looks amazing. Well done, mate. And I see that since we've been talking, there's been $400,000 deposited. So that's pretty awesome. Good achievement. I'm just wondering, in the future, do you think it would be a possibility to investigate where we could like stake capital exactly how you've done it, but then allow like a claim button and it to be in like a US dollar figure? Because I see there's been so much interest lately of like nodes as a service. Like everyone's like really interested in passive income, something that you can just click a button or just continually get revenue and an income stream from.
Oh, you mean like withdraw fiat directly from the vaults?
Exactly. Like, so you could deposit your collateral, right? And I noticed that most of these have got, where is it? Most of them are like got auto compound features. Like, so would there be an option to say, instead of auto compound, obviously the APY would drop, but the I suppose the revenue would like accumulate slowly into like a US into like a stable coin, which you could claim whenever you wanted.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, that could be quite useful. As I mentioned, like this is really some of the basic strategy. So yeah, I think we want like hear community's feedback and build probably will deploy more strategy based on the needs from the community. That could be something like you mentioned, maybe just convert the yield part into stable coins. That's something definitely we can look into. It's really but we need to gauge the needs from the user.
Okay, cool. Now looks great anyway. Well done.
Yep, thanks.
Or a convert the Woo button would be nice too, Kevin.
Yeah, convert everything to Woo.
No. It just to underline, what you brought with this Earn product. I think since I joined like this company, they've always said like fulfilling like the two biggest needs of crypto holders, which is one is to trade, and then you want to be trading the most efficiently at the lowest fees, and then the other is yield, right? Everybody wants to trade and everybody wants yield. I mean, the Wufi product is now doing that, and obviously this is just the first iteration, and it's going to have to come a long way. But I don't really see too many limits to what we can do, because it's doing it so much more efficiently than the other products on the market. And I think that's the key to being ahead of the game, especially with this DeFi 2.0 movement that's kind of lost steam a little bit, but I think it's still going in that general direction. So really, really impressed by everything you've done, Kevin, and looking forward to seeing the future developments.
Yeah, we'll keep pushing.
All right. Josh, do you want to play us out like you do in the DAO calls?
We'll save that for the DAO calls.
Oh, you're killing me. All right. Well, I think that this has been a very productive call. We call across so many different bases. Let us know some feedback on like what you'd like to see in future Wootopias, like regarding formats or guests or topics itself. But yeah, thank you all for showing up. It's been a very big crowd throughout, and we really appreciate that. All the support we get on Twitter and direct involvement, even better than support through the DAO as well.